Today we are alive to talk about a multitude of multitudes. And those multitudes include certain things that are currently going on in Syria. David, do you know what's going on in Syria?
Some sort of bloodbath. That's all about all I know. Some sort of bloodbath. But what do we expect with a bunch of Sunni jihadis going up against a bunch of previous generation Shia jihadis, and then you've always got a ton of people caught right in the middle of Islam's violent clashes with itself.
Yeah, well, the thing is, so I had great hopes that this new government that has just defeated the Assad regime and taken over would be a very, very peaceful government. I had big hopes. I had big hopes that this Islamist government was going to be like very, very peaceful and was going to bring a bright future to Syria.
Yeah, because that's how they acted. Remember that? They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yes, we're gonna make an awesome government. It's gonna be good for all, and we're not gonna be doing the jihad that you think we will. We will not be doing all the jihading that you think we're gonna be doing the jihadi because we all come from jihadi groups. But no, it will be different. We want to make good, strong Western nation.
Alhamdulillah. Of course, that's all nonsense. David and I were among many others who, even then, when the assault began of this organization of the current leader Jolani and the others to take over, we said that this is not going into a good direction and that this is an Islamist terrorist organization that is taking over, and that this Islamist terrorist organization is not going to be nice, it's not going to be kind, that they are going to be oppressors and so on. We said it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And some people were like, no, they're different. No, they're not different.
Yeah, and we had the ongoing issue of people will point out, hey, what a dirtbag Assad was. And we pointed out, guys, there, yep, definitely did some super slimy, evil things. The dude is a dictator, but people keep making the same mistakes in Middle Eastern nations. Get rid of the dictator, and then freedom and democracy will come. And no, you get rid of the dictator, and you get a bunch of jihadis scrambling for power and destroying everything in the population. Right.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened in Iraq. Get rid of Saddam, then peace and democracy will flourish. And you got ISIS, is what you got.
Yeah, as sad as the situation was when there was a dictatorship that was working on behalf of Russia and putting people in their place and in camps and torturing them and so on. The jihadists, I mean, did people really not see that coming? It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. And by the way, here's what's really messed up. It's the exact same problem. What's called the source of this problem? It's the exact same thing that causes Europeans to want to bring in millions of people from the other parts of the world. It's become ingrained in the Western mind that human beings are all the same and they all just want freedom and democracy and stuff. It took many generations to get the kind of people who really loved freedom and democracy and celebrating human rights and so on. It took a long time to get people to that mentality. But then once you got that mentality, everyone in your society is like that. And then you make the huge mistake of thinking, since everyone I see is like that, therefore everyone in the world is like that. And they made that mistake. People around the world just want freedom and democracy. Who's keeping it from them? Evil dictators. What should we do? Get rid of the evil dictator. Freedom and democracy will flourish. Again, we have that mentality, and it's the same mentality of, hey, let's bring in all these people from Pakistan. Yeah, they say they want to bang our little 12-year-old daughters and stuff like that. But once they experience the freedom and democracy, they'll say, this is what we're really looking for, not the 12-year-old girls. And so they just keep bringing them in. And finding out, wait a minute, they don't think like us. They don't have the same goals as us. They don't want the same things as us. And this doesn't seem to be leading to a greater appreciation for freedom and democracy. So that's what we do over here. But then we do the same thing in other countries. We say, hey, let's just get rid of the evil dictator and freedom and democracy will flourish because all the people there are just like us and they all just want freedom and democracy. And so we get rid of the dictator and they instantly start blowing each other up. Hey, wait a minute. That's weird that you're doing that, considering you just want freedom and democracy, and now you're all just slaughtering everyone from being in the wrong group.
Yeah, they're not like us. They're not like us, and people need to understand that. This is what happens this is what happened in the UK. You have a whole nation that invites all kinds of different people from around the world, from a different culture, overthinking they're like us. In fact, they're not like us, and then suddenly you have an artificially created Epstein's Island right there in the middle of Europe. So very, very bad. Before looking at multiple other things, I want to look at. Wait a minute, this is not. Oh yeah, I was here. I was over here. This is my screen.
Embarrassing.
I was going to read a statement that I didn't read before, which is issued by the Christian Patriarchs of Syria. A joint statement. It says, joint statement by the patriarchs in Syria. La 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 la. Let me see. All right. In recent days, Syria has witnessed a dangerous escalation of violence, brutality, and killings, resulting in attacks on innocent civilians, including women and children. Homes have been violated, their sanctity disregarded, and properties looted. Scenes that starkly reflect the immense suffering endured by the Syrian people. The Christian churches, while strongly condemning any act that threatens civil peace, denounce and condemn the massacres targeting innocent civilians, and call for an immediate end to those horrific acts, which stand in stark opposition to all human and moral values. The churches also call for the swift creation of conditions conducive to achieving national reconciliation among the Syrian people. They urge efforts to establish an environment that facilitates the transition to a state that respects all its citizens and lays the foundation for a society based on equal citizenship and genuine partnership, free from the logic of vengeance and exclusion. At the same time, they reaffirm the unity of Syrian territory and reject any attempts to divide it. The churches call on all concerned parties within Syria to assume their responsibilities, put an end to the violence, and seek peaceful solutions that uphold human dignity and preserve national unity. We pray that God may protect Syria and its people, and that peace may prevail throughout the land. That is John the 10th, I assume, not John X, Greek Orthodox Patriarch of Antioch and all the East, More Ignatius Ephraim II, Syriac Patriarch of Antioch and all the East, and Yosef Absi Melkite Greek Catholic Patriarch of Antioch and all the East.
It would be cool if his name was John X.
I know.
Hey,
that'd be interesting.
Hey, so let me see if I got this. Let me see if I got this right. Syria was just taken over by Islamists with backgrounds in a lot of jihadi groups. And the church here is saying, we want a society founded on equality of all citizens.
Yes.
Wait, hang on. Let me repeat that. Because I'm confused here. Hang on. The country was just taken over by jihadis, by Islamists, by people who want to install their particular brand of Islam. And these guys come from a bunch of terrorist groups. They just took over Syria. And so they want to impose Islamic law. They want to impose Sharia. And you're saying that the churches are saying, hey, we want a society based on equality of all citizens. Is that what I just said?
Pretty much.
That's what we just heard?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think one of these two groups is going to get what they want. So you've got the jihadis who want to impose Islamic law, and you've got the Christians who want equality of all citizens. One of these groups is not going to get what it wants, I have to sadly predict. And I have to sadly predict that it will be the Christians who do not get what they want here.
I would assume that the Islamist response to this will be pretty much, okay, that's very cute, but we don't care.
Yeah. Did a bunch of equality seeking peacekeepers show up to conquer your country? Is that what you think just happened?
Yes, that's what happened. Anyway, with David's complete disrespect of the Christian churches here, let's return to the actual case. There's something very funny here to me, which is that the Israeli minister, the Israeli defense minister, new defense minister Katz says calls new Syria president an Al Qaeda terrorist after reports of Alawites executed. It took them a little bit long to have this reaction to the new Syrian government. Like you had some Israelis jumping in and say, we hope that this will result in a peaceful resolution for Syria. Right. Yep. Who are you kidding?
Yeah. No, even I posted a video, and I said, hey guys, some of us are expecting you to be worse. You could prove us wrong. Wouldn't that be awesome if you proved us wrong and you actually made a society that respected people's rights? You could do it. You could shock everyone. You could be shocking. But they did the unshocking thing, which jihadis are going jihadi. Shocker.
Unshockingly so. So here is Apostate Prophet News, AP, which says 2 days of clashes and revenge killings in Syria leave more than 1,000 people dead. That's what the report says here, more than 1,000. Beirut, the death toll... Reporting from Beirut. The death toll from 2 days of clashes between Syrian security forces and loyalists of ousted President Bashar Assad and revenge killings that followed has risen to more than 1,000, a war monitoring group said Saturday, making it one of the deadliest acts of violence since Syria's conflict began 14 years ago. There's one thing to note, which is that during the entirety of the Syrian civil war, I think the death toll is like over 600,000 or so. So this is nothing compared to that, but still, it is the biggest amount of deaths and killings since the supposed end of the war.
Hey, AP.
What?
Hundreds of thousands of people died in this Syrian civil war.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't this war really kick off because you had a bunch of jihadi groups that wanted to finally take out Assad?
Yes.
And they were smart enough to say, hey, Western nations, we just want freedom and democracy. Will you help us get freedom and democracy like we want really bad? And Western governments said, of course we'll help you. Yes, you fight your civil war for freedom and democracy. That's what we did. That's what we did. We had the American Revolution. Yes, it will work for you too. And then they did it. And then, of course, it's a bunch of jihadis.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And we fell for it because they basically learned what to say to us. So, guys, have you noticed they always learn what to say to get what they want? Like if you're going around molesting 12-year-old girls, what do you say? You say, "Oh, don't be Islamophobes! Don't be Islamophobes!" And that's how you get Western leaders to submit to you. If you have a different country and you're a bunch of jihadi terrorists and you want to take over a country, then what do you say? Hey, Western nations, we want freedom and democracy too. We want human rights too. We're not getting our human rights. We just want our human rights. This guy's not giving us our human rights. He's an evil dictator. Help us take out the dictator. The Western nations goes, oh, there's no way these people would be lying to us.
Exactly. So the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said, in addition to 745 civilians killed, this is, by the way, this was reported earlier today, but I think the updated numbers are, or the speculations are that the numbers are much higher. In addition to 745 civilians killed, mostly in shootings from close distance. That is brutal. 125 government security force members and 148 militant with armed groups affiliated with Assad were killed. It added that electricity and drinking water were cut off in large areas around the city of Latakia.
Hey, wait a minute. How can you cut off people's water? That's a
war crime.
Yeah, that's literal genocide, I've heard.
That's literally ethnic cleansing. The clashes, which erupted Thursday, marked a major escalation in challenges to the new government in Damascus, 3 months after insurgents took authority after removing Assad from power. The government has said that they were responding to attacks from remnants of Assad's forces and blamed individual actions for the rampant violence. So they cannot control their doggies. Apparently, what they are saying, what the new government is saying, is that you think we don't have gangsters? We have gangsters. We can control what.
By the way, that's exactly the issue, right? So what's he saying? He's saying, hey, we can't control our soldiers if they just start going around killing all these people. Yeah, we don't want it. We don't want it. But if our soldiers are going around just massacring people, who are we to stop them? We can't control these guys. We can't control our gangsters. And it's just amazing that you have in the West the exact same thing. Oh, yeah, okay. We've got an endless supply of people trying to groom and grape these little girls and to slaughter you in the name of Allah. We can't control them. We can't control them. It's just a sizable part of our population. We just can't do anything about it. It's like, wait a minute. So wherever you go, there's just this sizable minority of people who want to bang 12-year-old girls and slaughter as many people as possible, and you can't control this. You can't control this minority at all, right? You can't. No, we can't. Nothing we can do about it. Okay, well then your entire ideology is sick. If you're saying yes, bring in 1 million of us, and 120,000 of those million are going to want to grape a bunch of 12-year-old girls and slaughter you in the name of Allah. But yeah, it's just a minority, and we can't control them.
Yeah, this is kind of a funny tweet. I didn't see this before, by Donald Trump back in 2013. As remember, all these freedom fighters in Syria want to fly planes into our buildings.
Well, he said some stupid things over the years, and he said some things that are right on the money over the years.
Man. Retribution killings between Sunnis and Alawites. The revenge killings that started Friday by Sunni Muslim gunmen loyal to the government against members of Assad's minority Alawite sects are a major blow to Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, the faction that led the overthrow of the former government. Alawites made up a large part of Assad's support base for decades. Now, lots of people wonder who in the world the Alawites are. These people, the Bashar al-Assad himself, who was the dictator for the longest time and who just was overthrown and fled the country to Russia, was part of this sect. It is a Shia sect, it's rather a Shia cult, actually. It's a Shia cult that is an offshoot of Shia Islam that existed for the longest of time. And that is very distinct from other Muslims. They don't share most of the Muslim beliefs and Muslim etiquettes and all that. They are kind of like an esoteric, mystical, religious group that keeps most of their teachings oral and just hidden and secret to people who are actually part of the religion. They don't talk about their religion to others and so on. Some people say that because of persecution, they started identifying as Muslims. That's not really true. They are an offshoot, and in fact, their name, Alawite, means the followers of Ali, or the Ali people. Ali here in this case being the cousin and son-in-law of Muhammad. They basically venerate or worship him as kind of like a manifestation of God or something like that. But the thing is, while you could say that this is a minority that is not like Sunni Muslims and not in power and in charge like other Muslim factions, these guys form a sizable minority in Syria, and they were also in power pretty much throughout Assad's dictatorship, and they also had preferential treatment against the others. This is why there's a lot of revenge killing, as they call it right now in the media and in other places. It's because these Alawites would had preferential treatment under Assad, and Sunni Islam and traditional Islam and so on was kind of suppressed, and lots of people were allegedly made to disappear or tortured, kicked out, and so on, which is why they are now claiming that these people are the oppressors, which is why they go and kill them and execute them on sight and so on. Information that comes out of Syria is very, very hard to fact check, especially right now. So we don't really know to what extent either side is telling the truth and to what extent either side is true, but that's basically what this group is. If you want to further read on them, you can read. It's kind of funny, they don't have an official scripture that they approve of, which you can actually read to understand what the hell they believe in, but it's just an esoteric group. Alawites made up a large part of Assad's support base for decades. Residents of Alawite villages and towns spoke to the Associated Press, it's called Apostate Prophet, idiots, about killings during which gunmen shot Alawites, the majority of them men in the streets or at the gates of their homes. Many homes of Alawites were looted and then set on fire in different areas. 2 residents of Syria's coastal region told the AP from their hideouts. They asked that their names not be made public out of fear of being killed by gunmen. So, there are lots of reports. If you go on Twitter, you will see a stream of lots of videos which the jihadists themselves took of killing people, executing them on the spot, stepping on their necks, shouting Allahu Akbar, and so on. They proudly do these things and post them. Obviously, they are not scared of their leadership. They are proudly doing these things and sharing them online. You have Sunni Muslims around the world saying, yeah, they're doing the right thing. These otherwise they deserve to be killed, and so on. So right now it is these Sunni jihadists taking out and basically revenge killing and genociding this other minority. Their goal is pretty much to suppress and to ideally eradicate this sect. The bad thing is that this sect is not just a very small number of people. What's the number of otherwise that live in Syria? According to official data, between 2 to 3 million people. Between 2 to 3 million people. So these are not just few people. There are lots of people there. Lots of people.
And it's this ongoing issue that you're dealing with people with this tribal mentality, which means, hey, my great-great-grandfather got killed by someone from your tribe. Now I have to go kill someone from your tribe now to even the score and so on. And I still want to wipe you out and so on. The point here is, when you have this mentality, there's never any ending to the killing, right? There's always some group out there that did something to you at some point that you need revenge on.
Yeah.
The bloodbath is endless. This is a problem because this is one of the things European nations are doing. They're bringing in all these people who are like, you did this to me a century ago, and now I'm here to subjugate you to even the score. You're dealing with one massive culture that inevitably veers towards an endless bloodbath where everyone is constantly killing everyone until like one person is left alive. And for some reason, all our leaders, all journalists, everyone is too stupid to catch on to what they're dealing with now, no matter how obvious they make it.